Lucifer gets remade in Bollywood. Who do you think can play the character of Mohanlal sir?
Shah Rukh Khan sir.
Favorite actor in Bollywood?
Amitabh Bachchan sir.
Okay. Lucifer released in 2019. What took you 6 years to come up with the sequel? Any update on the Dharma movie you were doing alongside 𝐂𝐮𝐫𝐞 sir?
So I think, in fact, about 30-35% of the film is in Hindi.
How do you take failures?
Like I take my success. I walk away from successes and I walk away from failures.
And what's the one thing you imbibed as an actor from Lal sir?
Many things. Most of all, how you should be with a director.
What was the most challenging part for you as a director to direct a legend like Lal sir?
So the legends are the ones who are the easiest to work with, actually.
Lucifer. This deal is with the devil.
Hi, I'm Asha and you're watching me on Filmibeat. Today I'm sitting with superstar Prithviraj Sukumaran, who's gearing up with his new film, L2 Empuraan. Prithviraj, welcome to Filmibeat. And
Thank you so much.
firstly, congratulations for the thunderous teaser that we saw, and at the venue also the grand launch in presence of Mammootty sir. How was the whole experience?
This was really, it was a very special evening for me. Firstly, for the fact that the teaser has been so well received. Secondly, that we were able to have all our friends from media across the country fly in and attend the event. And of course, the icing on the cake being Mammootty sir being there present in person to launch the teaser. This is my third film as a director, and to have this journey within a course of 3 films, and to have the privilege of being able to direct Mohanlal sir for all 3 of my directorials is all a blessing. I don't truly know if I deserve all this. I'm just trying my best to live up to the opportunity that has been presented. And I hope, all the anticipation that the teaser has set is met on the 27th of March when people see the film in theatres.
Absolutely. Lucifer released in 2019. What took you 6 years to come up with the sequel? Did the pandemic affect the production and everything?
COVID was the reason. And this was supposed to be my second directorial, actually. We were supposed to go on floors sometime beginning of 2020, with this. That's when the pandemic happened, and it just sort of completely derailed our plans. But in a way, the 5-year wait, the sort of the thing was, although this franchise was conceived in 2017, every time you make a film, you need to review it to the current socio-political circumstances around you and all that. So with all those reviews coming in, I think this is now a better film than it was originally conceived. But having said that, it still stays very honest and true to the narrative progression that we had in mind from the beginning. Good thing being that I just think that the nature of this film and what has happened with cinema as an industry in general has a pleasant coincidence, because this particular part of the franchise, the story happens to have a very national kind of a scape and also an international plotline running. In fact, about 30-35% of the film is in Hindi. And that's because the characters and the terrain exist in that space. And I want to have that particular portion in all 5 versions in Hindi. So we were very keen that this time we should have this film released simultaneously in all 5 languages, which we couldn't do with Lucifer.
My question was, second question was this, that Lucifer wasn't released in theatres in Hindi. So this time you guys are going the pan-India way.
Yes.
So was it your decision?
Yes, it was. Because one, the business of cinema has evolved to a point over the last 6 years where now you can legitimately do that. Secondly, the quality of this particular film is such, when I say quality, I mean the nature of this film is such that I think it'll find resonance much more than the part 1 of the franchise with people around the country and around the world. And the greatest thing about the film, I believe, is that it perfectly works as a standalone film. So for people who have not seen part 1, it is not like you are not going to understand what the film is. For people who have seen part 1, maybe a few dialogues and a few characters might hold more throwback value. But even without that, I think the film works well.
Lucifer was the first Malayalam film to cross the 200 crore mark. I don't know. The box office.
It was a massive hit. More than being
it shattered a lot of
more
records.
than being a hit, it went on to achieve a cult kind of a status with audiences, and with so many of the scenes and dialogues being replayed and reels and all that. So I'm really flattered. With that.
So do you feel pressure this time because the stakes are really high and the bar has been set
No, I understand there
Yeah.
is pressure. I understand there is expectation. I know for a fact that pretty much everyone who's seen Lucifer 1
Yeah.
would have imagined their own version of a Lucifer 2. But unfortunately, I cannot let that dictate what I'm making. I will have to stay true to my vision. I'll have to stay true to the actual plot that we had originally in mind. Just because part 1 was a big hit, I cannot suddenly come and change part 2.
Yeah.
And I can just hope that people like what they see. This has always been the part 2 that we wanted to make, with, of course, a few things being reviewed for the times that we live in. Other than that, the pressure exists outside of the film.
Yeah. Yesterday at the teaser launch event, Lal sir said that you're going to be the best director this country has ever produced.
I'm just really, really flattered and blessed for a legend like that
Yes.
to have such high expectations upon me. I don't know. I'll just continue doing my craft and my work with all the commitment and diligence that I can muster, and I'll continue learning cinema, and I'll continue hoping that I get the opportunity to work with legends like himself.
And as a part of the statement that he made, what was the most challenging part for you as a director to direct a legend like Lal sir?
The thing is, when they're legends for a reason.
Yeah.
And the reason is that they are immensely gifted and they're fantastically professional. So the legends are the ones who are the easiest to work with, actually. Once you understand their process as an actor, they suddenly make a lot of sense to you because they're very consistent with their process. That's why they are doing it for so long.
Yeah.
So I've had the privilege of directing so many actors. One of the easiest actors I could direct is Lal sir.
Yeah.
Because I understand the process now. He will come and he'll ask you, "What do you want me to do, sir?" And he expects you to give him a brief. And once you give him a brief, he then imbibes it and he does this really magical version that he's interpreted out of it. And we have this really nice synergy happening now over the 3 films that, he's just very, very easy to direct. I'm not saying others are tough, but with him, I think I have a relationship.
But this
now.
is the 3rd film.
Yeah.
So when you first directed him, was there any kind of hesitation when you wanted to change something in him while directing, or he was very receptive of?
So when I did my first film,
Yeah.
I was thinking I am going to direct one film in my life. Okay. So I was very clear about the fact that, okay, this might be just that one film that I ever direct. So I'm going to make sure, even if the film turns out good, bad, or whatever, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to make the film that I have in my mind. Because I might get to do this only once.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, whoever I have to piss off, I'm going to go tell them this is what I want, and I'm going to do the film that I have in mind. And that's what I did with part 1. Even with Lal sir, with whoever it is, I used to go and say, no, this is not what I have in mind. What I want is this, and I'd like you to do that. But what has happened, thankfully for me, is that through the course of making my first film, I think the actors, the wonderful, wonderful actors who worked with me, they realized and understood my process and they started trusting it. They started trusting, okay, this is how Prithvi would like us. That is how Prithvi makes films, and we trust his process. Once that trust forms, then it becomes very, very easy. So now it's no longer a challenge. Now I can go up to anybody and I can say, this is not what I want. And they can come and tell me, we think we would be better off doing it this way. So we have that synergy happening, and that's how a film should be made. That's the actual process. Cinema is always a team sport.
And what's the one thing you imbibed as an actor from Lal sir?
Many things. Most of all, how you should be with a director. Because he is a standing lesson for me on how I should be with my directors. Every time I feel irritated on a set when I'm acting, every time I feel like, I want to tell someone off, I can easily draw a reference over the course of 3 films where, okay, this is very similar, but you remember how he dealt with it. Yeah, so...
It's been more than 2 decades for you in this industry. You've been an actor, now a director, very soon the best director, like Lal sir said, in India. What was the more challenging, being an actor or being a director?
Direction is more challenging. Direction is more challenging because it just involves a lot more work, a lot constant decision making. And any given day, there are about 200 to 300 people on set waiting for your instructions. Money is being spent on decisions that you make, and you're constantly involved with that process that is going on non-stop. Direction is more challenging. That's not to say that acting is not challenging at all. And me now being a director, it'll sound a little immodest, me saying it, but actors are limited by their directors. A great performance can be shot badly and it will come across as a mediocre performance. A mediocre performance can be shot flatteringly and it could just pass the test. So
Both. I'm getting a cue to wrap up, so I'll just ask 2 questions. So success and failures go hand in hand. Last year you did Bade Miyan Chote Miyan, which didn't perform well at the box office. How do you take failures?
like I take my success, I'm detached with it. I walk away from successes and I walk away from failures.
Wow.
Whatever happens on 27th of March, 28th of March, I still have to live my life. I have to. So I keep saying this. Sometimes my wife asks me, like, why don't you celebrate your successes more? I'm like, maybe because I enjoy the process more than the result. I enjoyed the most gratifying thing for me was not that the goat life was a smash hit. The most gratifying thing for me was that I could do it the way it deserved to be done. Same thing with this film. I'm really thankful that I was able to do the film the way it got done eventually. The result is then secondary. Yeah, my producers making money and the investment coming back would be great. And the success of this film paving way for us being able to do part 3 of the franchise would be wonderful. But other than that, it's not much.
A lot of South cinemas are being remade in Bollywood. So if Lucifer gets remade in Bollywood, who do you think can, play the character of Mohanlal sir?
Shah Rukh Khan sir.
And that would be safe to say he's your favorite actor in Bollywood?
My favorite actor in Bollywood is Amitabh Bachchan sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Lastly, your any update on the Dharma movie you were doing alongside Kajol also?
So I think till the makers make an official statement or an announcement, it's better for me to not talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a saying in Hindi, ये तो trailer है, picture अभी बाकी है, and after seeing the
trailer भी नहीं है,
teaser,
teaser
after seeing the teaser, we all are waiting for the movie that is releasing on 27th of March. Wishing you all the best, sir, and thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much.